Hi, good morning. It's still morning. I almost said good afternoon. I'm so excited today to have Jeremy Bauer, CEO and team lead of KW Philly, as our special guest. I'm propping red for you, Jeremy.
I like it. Thank you. Thank you.
I've worked over the years with Jeremy, and directly and indirectly, and he's a very powerful leader, great coach. And I want to give a shout of gratitude to you and Noah Offstroff and the other leaders of KW Philly who, during this difficult time, very scary time for all of us, you've been putting out some great information. I participated in the Education Week. Was that last week, 2 weeks ago?
Yep.
We were still shut down.
Yep.
And I do appreciate the mindset at KW Philly. You're always welcoming agents from throughout the community. It doesn't matter who you work with. And that's the approach I'm taking with the market updates as well. It's like we're a community. I like to lean on leaders and get insights from top agents from every brokerage and across the country, if they're willing, as well as market leaders like yourself. So I really appreciate and admire the leadership. This is helping agents as well as consumers at this time.
I appreciate it. Thank you. Think the world of you. Appreciate the opportunity. It's a beautiful day. I got the birds chirping out here, so I apologize if you hear some birds, but I'm trying to take advantage of this time and think bigger. I actually took a little remote getaway and rented a place on the water here. And it allows us for times like this to think differently, to think bigger. It's very easy as a society, us to get stuck in our boxes. And we're doing those type of events recently. I knew we were doing a good job before. Now we're doing a much better job of changing the company and growing the company, because when the coronavirus hit, we could look at it two different ways. And the one way I looked at it is every challenge in life, you have to look as an opportunity. You look at that glass of water, it's half full, half empty. Is it really half empty or is it really half full? Like, which way are you looking at it? So for us, we've pivoted and adjusted and made a lot of great changes for everybody. So looking forward to sharing a little bit today, whatever you want, topics we talk about today. But thanks for having me on today.
Well, that really resonates with me, Jeremy. I got frustrated early in our shutdown with the lack of information and misinformation that I was seeing. It's all too easy at this time to retweet, or I shouldn't use that, that's politically loaded term, or share a little soundbite of information that isn't sufficient. This is a complex situation. And so this is not my comfort zone. I've done videos, but that's why I stepped up to do these broadcasts, to provide an opportunity to share from the street, because at this time, I'm a little apologize, but market stats are not meaningful because of the shutdown, and it also looks backwards. So if you want to know what's going on right now, it's best to listen to industry leaders like yourself, who are not only personally investing and working with clients, but you're leading a huge team. The $1 billion office, KW Philly, is one of, if not the top, I've lost track of the stat, the top brokerage in Center City.
Individual office, it's probably the largest in the state as an individual. But you're right. It's interesting how you say that. How you said that is from an investing perspective. When this coronavirus came out, I know what I know locally, and I stuck with that. When it came out as a stock market, I honestly was not comfortable with the stock market because I don't understand enough about the companies that I'm invested in. So I just moved most of my stuff to real estate because I know it, and I still have stuff in the market. But it's interesting. There's one stock I was really following, and I probably should have bought some more of it. But I only have a pulse on what's locally here, not nationwide. So nationwide stats don't matter to me. It matters to me locally what we're doing as a group. So everything I've been trying to make a change and pivot was locally. Like, how can KW Philly change locally? Okay, let's have an education week for 2 weeks. All right, PPP stimulus plan comes out. Like, how can I help our agents? Well, I have to make sure I understand it. So I had accounting people on it twice a week. I brought the local experts I thought in. I ran through the process with people. And what was powerful about that is I have thank you messages from people saying, Jeremy, thank you. I almost went bankrupt. Jeremy, thank you. I almost had to let this person go, because you literally leveraged your connections and helped me. And I literally got my accountant and said, listen, man, I don't care what you got to do. You got to help these people apply. Like a lot of people think you need to have your taxes done. It's not correct. You don't have to have your taxes done. You actually have to have the tax forms done by an accountant if you really want to get the money, and it doesn't have to be officially filed, because I have many people that got their money, but there was a lot of false information out there on that. On the PPP, a lot of people got that. Unemployment, still people are battling that. Some are getting it, some aren't. So I literally had my accountant and this banker. Now it's backfiring because I need to get 2 loans from this banker right now. And my stuff has gotten slowed down, and that's always how it's been in life with me, is always look out for other people, come back in different directions with yourself. Is he is actually helping them get the money. Like I was one of 1,100 at a medium large bank, and thought that I had a decent amount of loans and money over the years with these guys, that I was good and have a personal bank connection. He's like, Jeremy, you didn't even get through the system. Like, you're one of 1,100. So then I went to a smaller bank in Reading. I was one of 110.
Wow.
And, and got my way through that model, right, with other people, and helped them get their money that they needed. There's still people out there that need to get their money so they don't have to let people go or be able to get through these times. So the whole point of the story is we as humans have 2 options in any indication: fight or flight. And during hard times, fighting is the right way to do it. That could be working out. That could be learning more about the stimulus package. That could be doubling down on real estate. That could be doubling down on your brain. The easiest thing is the flight, because you lose confidence in yourself, lose confidence in the system. So that's why I like these types of times. The true colors come out as leaders and people.
Absolutely. Tom Ferry had a really good quote about that. Something nice, like, this is the time to step up. And you definitely have. And in my small way, I'm trying to do that as well, to provide a venue for people to get real information.
I love it. I love it.
So there's so much misinformation, and it's a whole different topic, like, for instance, about forbearance and so many people at risk. And just to tell you all a little bit backstory here, I've worked with distressed property owners since 2008. That's one of the things I did. It was like, I looked at it like from a surfer, just the same thing we're talking about when the market crashed in Hawaii. It was like a perfect storm. We got hit the hardest anywhere, I think. And so I'm sitting there at the shore, everybody's surfboards are broken, so to speak, everything's crashing. And I'm like, okay, but the next wave set coming in are foreclosures. So I dove into specializing in short sales just to help, because nobody else was. Realtors didn't even want to say the word, it was just like a lot of denial. But because of my history, and it's a part of my business that I have continued to serve since then, Jeremy reached out to me personally looking for some investment opportunities, which fascinated me, because at times of uncertainty like this, most people, like you say, get scared and do not want to take action. And here you are, appreciate the coaching and leadership, but I'm also fascinated as your success as an investor, which a lot of people don't know, that you have this great success as an investor, flipping properties, renovating. And, so I'm curious to get your insight, both as a leader and also from your personal investment standpoint. Why would you buy an investment property, or that seems like, I guess common sense would say don't, but you are. So if you could provide some insight that might help other people thinking about investments in real estate right now.
So
I'd love to hear your thoughts.
Yeah, I appreciate it. So number one, I would say in life, our biggest opportunities when others are not willing to do something. So once again, our biggest opportunities when others are probably not doing something. That could be in anything in life. So I look at this opportunity now as I found 2 properties. I bought both of them. Probably going to buy a third one. And the deals make sense if the coronavirus was here, and the deals make sense if the coronavirus was not here. So for me, I like to be in stuff at 70 cents or less on the dollar, because then I believe if the market shifts at 15, 20, 10, 5, I'm good. If it shifts more than 30, can I withhold that? Can I handle that on the rental income? Yes. And then can I handle it if the rent is not being paid? And that's the big what if of a lot of people is, can you handle it? When you get to a certain size, it's hard to be able to handle all those rental payments if they all don't pay at the same point, right?
Right.
for me, I got shut down some construction sites. I am paying for those right now. I got crushed on an Airbnb. But good news is I've saved and I'm fine. I did not move the payments. If I did, then the bank would not give me new loans. And I believe you have the capital, you pay it. I signed up for it, so I pay it. I changed that one Airbnb in the city to a long-term hold. And it's interesting. Airbnbs, and I'm studying this a lot, and VRBO and Huffy, there's a whole bunch of different sites, is the shore rentals are doing amazing. Mountains are doing amazing. I'm at one right now at the shore. I'm trying to extend. I don't know if we will or not based upon my wife, what she wants to do. We went into coronavirus time with my brother, his wife, and his kid. We each have one kid, and we wanted to hang out together. It's worked out great. So we might travel a little bit and do this, and it gets me to think bigger and probably invest more and see bigger opportunities. By me staying in my house, it doesn't help me. We stay contained in this house, so I'm not out and about, causing any issues or anything. But that being said, the Airbnb in the cities they have definitely been impacted, and I know many people that are going long-term rental for right now. May was going to be an unbelievable month for all of us because of graduation. I went from $7,000 in income one month down to $1,500. So it was, a big shift. That's just in one place, right? So you do the math, you have multiple places. The ones I bought, I'm buying just long-term rentals right now. The two that I bought, I could easily flip a ton of equity in the one. The other one is guaranteed income, government owned, government backed, I should say, rental. So my thinking is always buy based upon what's in your life. Don't buy on outside. Like every time I chase who a person is on social media, or I chase someone's lifestyle, or I chase an investment, you're always let down. Like people say to me, Jeremy, why don't you, I was a kid, why don't you look up to Larry Bird or Michael Jordan? You know why? Because when I meet him, after seeing The Last Dance on Michael Jordan, I think he's an awesome dude. He's competitive. From a personal perspective, I don't really want to be like him because I know he pissed off everybody. And to me, relationships are more important than being number one in the world. We're all different. I'm not saying he's right or wrong. So for me, I just have learned at 40 some years old now is just focus on what works for you and don't let the outside economics impact you on a positive or negative side. So for me, the deals make sense at a good time or a bad time. I'm going to buy it. If it's under 70 cents on the dollar, let's do it. Let's double down. That's my investment goal, my tip. And then from a personal perspective, I believe that you should be putting money into yourself and assistance right now more than ever. So, I'll have some bigger announcements, coming up soon, be officially public. And I believe you need to be doubling down. Who else can I hire? I posted something today, said who's been let go of their job, who's been furloughed, let's talk. Let me see if I can hire you. Let me see if I can connect you. Am I thinking big enough on new business ventures idea? I talked to a guy yesterday. I'm like, here's the deal, dude. You go find me these real estate investments in these areas, and you find me X deals. You write the business plan with me. You can be the CEO of this investment company with me, right? I'll back it, but you have to go out and do it. And he's like, during this time, I'm like, yeah, this is the best time to be doing these kinds of things. So it's just, what your mindset is on how to do it. So yeah, I'm buying properties, buying them if they're good or bad. They're rental properties. If they're flips, you got to be conservative on the flip number. I believe there's got to be a variable in there in that flip number. I do believe people are overpaying for flips. I've been saying that for 2 years now. I did miss out on opportunities making money. I'm okay with it. But I do believe people are paying too much for some places right now, and they're buying on future expectations. I only buy on 4 things. 1, cash flow. 2, depreciation. 3, forced pay down, and appreciation. Right?
Could you explain forced pay down? I don't know that people understand that.
Tenant is paying down my mortgage, right? They're paying down my note. So one of my favorite books is Real Estate Tax Advantages or Real Estate Loopholes. It's a Kiyosaki series book, Robert Kiyosaki. A lot of people know the Rich Dad Poor Dad. But these things have really kind of changed my thought on all right, if you want to get to $10,000 a month rental income, up front, you have $10,000 in mortgage payments for 20 years to get to that $10,000 most likely, right?
Mm-hmm.
So to have that cash flow if you want to. So for me, like whatever that dollar amount is for that person, they need to understand those 4 categories is how much am I depreciating each year to save on taxes? How much is it appreciating? How much is that tenant actually paying down? And then the last one is cash flow. It's hard to play in all 4 quadrants, I find, and there could be people out there in B or C class levels. For me, I play in 3 of the 4. Cash flow is a factor, but I actually like buying in more A property type areas. For me, it just works easier for my crews, and for me, I've kind of bought in a couple different ones. So that's my mindset in it. So for me is I want to get to a goal in income per month and passive income. And it could be through many different businesses that I know that I have to start off with debt, which is scary because I'm not rich. I didn't come from money. You know, I'm from Western Pennsylvania. My dad was a pharmacist, you know, so we did okay, but there was no extra money being forced. I had to create all this, right? So I just look at it and say, how can I make that type of money right now? So in 20 years from now, when I'm in my 60s,
Yeah, I'm sorry, we kind of lost you a little bit right there at the end. But yeah, so in 20 years from now, you'll have that passive income and a legacy for your family, right?
Yeah, like right now I have it. So when things happen, but I'm not at that goal. I'm probably like 25%, 35% of my goal right now. And for too many years, I was doing too many flips. And what I should have been doing when I raised my capital from people was use their capital for down money, used a bank, and then bought the properties. What I did too many years, listen, we all screw up. We're all good at certain things. We stink at other things. I believe humans don't talk about what they stink at enough. Is I leveraged like a couple $1,000,000 from a guy, and we would split everything 50-50. That's one option in real estate investing. What we should have done was taken his money and put it down, leveraged the banks, could have bought more properties, and then not had to sell those properties and pay taxes on them. Another one we could have done was 1031, not have to pay the taxes.
That's right.
Another one we could have done was got a note with the bank and had a line and pull the money out and not pay taxes on it. A lot of people don't know that is if you have a loan with the bank and the property's worth 500, you owe 200, you can pull a line out, say for 100, it's cash free, tax free, excuse me. It's paying an interest rate, but you're not paying taxes on that. That would have been a smarter way to do it. Or you can do the idiotic way like I did was do really good, start buying properties in 2003 called Maniac Rentals, and then decide to sell a couple of them and go buy a shore house and lose $200,000 because you get hit by Hurricane Sandy because you think you need something. What I would tell people is if you're watching this today is buy on your lifestyle for 20 years. Don't buy on your lifestyle for today. So like wherever you're trying to go, make your investments for 20-year runs, make your investments for 10-year runs. Don't buy things for today. Because when you buy things for today, it never means nothing to you. Like it really, like you can go get whatever you want. It doesn't fulfill us. As human beings, we try to make this thing up in our brain that we need it. We don't need anything actually. It's just like it's made up in our head, just like fear. Fear doesn't exist. It's made up in our brain. It's something that's there. So one guy can get punched and doesn't feel the pain, or a woman, like say if they're in karate or a boxer or whatever they are, ultimate fighting, and the next one gets knocked out. It's in their brain. It does not exist. So the same thing in this case is like getting a Maserati right now doesn't mean anything. I think some people might think they need it. Don't buy flips today to have instant gratification. If you do a flip to take that money to buy rentals. Okay. But don't do flips to live your style today would be one of my best tips I could give people in this coronavirus time or times moving forward on investing. If you can base on those 4 principles I told you guys earlier on, that will change your life long term. If you hang out with people who are really happy later in life, it's because they did a lot of passive income. They took small deposits up front and they didn't take large deposits. They lived below their means. And I think for me, as a hick from Western Pennsylvania, I think I needed to like fulfill, I don't know why this is, but I'll admit this today. I feel like I had to fulfill like I made it. I don't know why, And it's not that I is an impressive person. I think I made it that I wanted my friends to hang out with me at the shore. Like I got married young. I felt like I had to get them to hang out with me. And it wasn't like I was trying to make them think I was better. I wanted them just to be with me. So I bought these things to try to fulfill what I thought. I shouldn't have bought it. And what I should have done was make all my decisions on 20-year runs on cash flow. And I would have made a lot better mistakes. So the last probably 5 years, I've been making much better decisions on that. The outside world, they see that 20-year run that I did great, but I think they don't see a lot of mistakes that I made.
We all have those.
Right?
Yeah, exactly.
Fell forward.
I think it's interesting what you're speaking of too, because I find a lot of realtors, I'm sure other industries, but this is our world, right? Feel that they have to have a very expensive car. They have to have all of this kind of bling bling to be able to be respected, and working with high net worth individuals, it's not the case. Most of them drive like an older Mercedes or, it's just not the case. It's about being knowledgeable, about being, providing a high level of service. And, it can be such a trap. And I saw that happen on Kauai when the market crashed. All the realtors that were driving Escalades, and then you'd go to the broker's opens, and pretty soon it's the old pickup or, whatever the case might be. And we fall into that. And again, that's a appreciation that you and Noah give on your leadership. You do a lot of helping with financial planning and even one of the sessions on the education where I appreciate is like where to cut expenses and where to invest so that we can effectively help the community, because it's about, as a realtor, it's not about me, it's about what can I do for my clients? How can I, and how can I incorporate good leadership insight like you're providing so that I can be stable, so that I can be effective? Because in reality right now, I'm overwhelmed with this. We're in a disaster zone, so to speak. And I take seriously our role, like almost like triage nurses, to be able to help consumers, investors, home buyers with real information to be able to make decisions that could impact their life. We don't want this to be one of those bad decisions that they're having to talk about, 10 years later, right? So it's so important to have real insightful, helpful, honest information like you're providing. It means a lot.
If you ask me, like, what would be the next thing that you'd be proud of in the brokerage world or the investing world? The brokerage world would be to have every single agent on a profit and loss statement every month. And we hired an internal bookkeeper, and they have an internal bookkeeper now to do that. Some we're very proud of last year. A lot of people think we sold $1 billion they're proud of. I'm actually more proud of we had 125 people make $100,000 or more, which is pretty cool, right? But my ultimate goal, so might be next proud of, there's many different things, would be have 100 agents make $100,000 passive income. And that could be through profit share, that could be through real estate investing, but like you get 100 people to make $100,000 a year passive income, like almost $10,000 a month. Times like this change what you can do and what you can't do, right?
Yes,
and
indeed.
That's I think we need to help more people understand that. We make a living selling real estate. We build our wealth owning it. And the trouble is, in life, I believe there's 3 steps to anything in life. What do you want? How are you going to get there? And what's your why? And everything, like from a personal perspective, relationship perspective, business perspective, sports, anything. My job has always been to build the bridge. How can you go from Philly over that bridge to New Jersey? How can you get there, right? How can you buy those real estate investments? And I hope today for people watching us, they understand that they need to be thinking long-term, not short-term. They need to be thinking about those 4 principles I talked about on real estate advantages, right? And I also think that people need to understand, my last tip would be, is they need to think about what fits their life, what doesn't fit others. Don't make other people's priorities yours. Whatever yours is, what you're trying to do, help those people get there, and you will get what you want.
Excellent advice. I really appreciate it. And getting back to where you talk about local, when I went to the KW Shift seminar a couple years ago, everybody, we saw a shift coming, certainly didn't expect this. I forget the name of the speaker, but he used the analogy. He said, you can ask, what's the temperature of the United States? And there's probably a number for that. You can average, you take the
Yeah,
report for Chicago and LA and come up with a number, right? But again, talking about micro market data and insights, and know your local data, because that's all that really matters. You can't plan what to wear, whether I need a raincoat or snow boots, based on the temperature of the United States. And market reports are similar.
I love that. That's a great example and great way to look at it. It is very true. I mean, town to town.
Yeah. All right, Jeremy, thank you so much for joining us. Anybody who's interested, like I saw your post this morning, if you're thinking about a new career, if you're struggling because you're laid off and you're looking for a coach to work with, real estate's a fantastic career, and especially it can be scary, but when you have good leadership behind you, that's what's important, so that you can know how to ramp up your business and get started with something else. And it's very rewarding to help people. Like I'm filled with fire right now.
Right? You've always been that way. I've always respected that about you. You're always been very, very organized, worried about the other people. You have a huge heart. You deliver, and you're authentic. I want to really make that very clear. You have always been authentic and real. And I appreciate you always being direct with me. I appreciate the opportunity. But over this journey of you and I knowing each other, I just appreciate you for being who you are as a person. So thank you.
Oh, thank you so much. It's I don't want to keep you from your family. So if you have,
it's raining right now too. It just started raining.
Gosh, okay. But I was enjoying the vicarious vitamin D for a little while. So.
Yeah.
I appreciate it.
I appreciate it. Thanks for the opportunity.
All right. Well, take care, Jeremy. And anybody has questions, you've got his contact info there. If you can't reach him, let me know. I'll connect you.
I'd love to help you guys. Real estate investment, real estate brokerage, anything that I can do on that end. We'd love to talk to you. Thanks for the opportunity.
All right. Thanks so much.